Hey, this is Home Game, a channel where we kind of just get together and talk about the nerdy things that we enjoy. I'd like to talk about something LARP adjacent today. You guys all know that I participate in a foam fighting group where we put on funny clothes and hit each other with sticks. Um, but, ever since you're a little kid and you pick up your first stick up off the ground to pretend like it's a sword, uh, you start training, to hit things. And I found some good deals lately for trainers, sword trainers. And I want to share them with you, but it got me thinking that, uh, what has been my evolution to get to where I am now in reference to different styles of trainers and things like that. So I have my computer table is just like mounted with a bunch of different things, and this isn't everything I use, but it's all the stuff that's kind of readily available to me laying around often. Um, and the first thing I have is broken broomstick. So it's like a little knife. You can practice your strikes with it, practice your stabs with it. Pretty inconspicuous to have laying around. Um, I try not to slam too much around and make noise. Um, then I bought one of these for a little wooden tanto, or this might be bigger than a tanto. Tanto's right, but it's a good size, not too short. You can still do some kind of techniques that work with larger swords. It's heavier, the heavy wood, um, and they just look cool. I mean, these Japanese style practice swords just look awesome. I picked these up recently. I got two of these. I think maybe I don't know if they're 15 bucks for a couple of them or what they were. I can't remember. Butterfly swords. They just look awesome. They look like make you feel like God of War. um, and I have a full size Boken. I think I got this when like a family member passed and we found it. They've rounded it off to a point, so I don't know if they were doing light touch drills with other people with it or just practicing. They've worn it down at the tip. I don't know. I got one of these. This is like a ninja style sword. It's flat, completely flat on the back. It has a slight taper on the front. It has enough room you can put two hands on it, but it's also very light, and it's long enough to where you can do some decent longer sword drills and stuff. But it's still small enough to where you can do it in your house. And because it's so light, you have no excuse not to pick it up and swing it around, have it laying around. The nice thing about like actual trainers instead of just sticks is they look better laying around your house. Like you can literally create a spot to hang on your wall for one that you want access to often. I also I have one that I kind of patched together with tape and clamps, and it's it's fiberglass tubing with a metal basket hilt on it, and that thing's pretty heavy. I'll turn it around and use it as like a mace. Just put the hilt on the end and use it for slow sword drills and stuff like that. Um, they're nice for slow work. I would probably hurt myself if I tried to go full speed with it, especially with my shoulders the way they've been lately. But these, I've got a few more, and these are going to be the topic of the video because the three trainers I found recently are all Cold Steel brand. So I'll show you the first thing I got from Cold Steel is this little Bowie knife. And I bought two of these because you could put on a pair of safety goggles and practice. If someone wraps your knuckles with this hard, you're gonna feel it, because they're pretty decent weighted. And a lot of Cold Steel products, like when I bought this, I don't know if they still do. They sold a real knife, real functioning knife that was that's what this is molded after. So you could buy this and you could buy the real thing if you wanted to, and you can train with this for safety reasons, and then you could use the other one for, real life circumstances, whatever that might be. But they're awesome. They got a nice grip on them, and you could tuck these away somewhere. They don't even have to be visible. You can make these readily available, where you can pick them up and do your drilling anytime you want because they're nice and small. I think I paid maybe $15 for that thing, but I bought that years ago. I don't know if it's still on the site or not, but we'll take a look. I got this. It's like probably they probably call it like their tactical tomahawk. Um, French hawk trainer. I modified mine. It had this big. Let me scroll down to the picture. They had this big spike on the back of it, and I just didn't like it. It's just my personal preference. They sell a real steel version of this too. Um, and if I were actually training with this to use that, I'd leave it on. But I probably wouldn't even buy the real steel version of that. Just because I don't like it. I'd prefer a hammer on the back of it to a spike because I just feel like the spike in your direction uh, is a bad idea. I'm sure with enough training, you'd be competent enough not to stab yourself in the shoulder when you draw back or something. But just if you have an assailant you're fighting or something, and they rush you, I feel like it's just a bad idea to have that toward you. I'd much rather have a hammer back here. But so I cut mine off, and I might actually cut it again. I might cut it just square instead of rounded like this. But I really like these things, and sometimes I'll turn them around and just use them like this too, because they have some ridges in here for your fingers. So these are pretty awesome, and I wanted a couple of axes. Um, because my character is Viking, portrays a Viking for the purposes of our game. So I thought some training axes would be nice. They sell some like more, Viking-ish training axes, but these were on sale and they definitely serve the purpose I was shooting for. So those are things and that's $20, and you can also buy the real life version of it, the steel version. I probably paid about that when I bought them. So let me show you the things that I found on Amazon over the last. Actually, it's probably been the last couple months, but I bought 3 of these within the last couple weeks. So I bought this training dagger. It's an awesome little dagger. Really, the grip is really nice on it. It's a more medieval look, so I can practice side. I can turn it and practice, side blading, with a more fencing style or saber grip style. So I can do that, and it looks like something instead of just a round stick. It has nice molded crossguard. These things, you can see it has a tiny bit of flex. And if I were guarded, I mean, if I had something to cover my eyes, then I could probably go, half speed with these, half or 3/4 power with these things, and feel pretty safe to actually get hit with this. And they just look cool. And I don't know if their website has a real version of it. We can go searching for it. But I think looking at their website, I mean, I didn't pay shipping because I got it off Amazon, so I don't know if I broke even or paid a little less if you include shipping. But I paid $15 for this shipped, and it looks like Cold Steel has them for $12 plus shipping. So I probably overpaid a little bit on the individual price, but I probably made up for it in shipping. Going through Amazon with Prime. Uh, that I picked up in the last couple weeks. I'm happy with it. This next one I picked up probably a couple months ago, and it was $20 on Amazon, and it looks like it's 40 on Cold Steel. The medieval training sword, the Waster. Um, I was when I bought this, I was pretty impressed because I've bought swords before where the fit of the crossguard was really bad, and this was like a press fit. I almost thought it wasn't going to fit. Um, and then I got it on. What they don't show you on here is that there's a band right here that's like a dense rubber. I find them easier to put on if you heat them up first. Like put them in a glass of really warm water. Just run your tap as hot as it'll get. Throw them in there. Um, that's what this is. It's pretty. It's a decent size. Also, very heavy. It's heavier than what I think a real sword would be. It's these are all like high impact plastic. This thing doesn't give. I don't want to get clubbed with this thing. It's good. It'd be good for slow work. Go through your drills nice and slow. Just practice holding it and transitioning with it. It's single handed, of course. I mean, I got maybe another inch on there to put my hand on, so I can't really grip it two hands. Um, when I first picked this up, I've been I was fighting frequently when I first got this. Like more than I normally was. Once a week is about what I hit. Sometimes two, three times a week. It depends. When I picked this up, like every joint in my arm hurt. It made me feel alive again. So, but it's really nice. I got it for $20 on Amazon. It's got some good quality. It's got some good weight to it. You can just pick it up. You can do like wrist exercises with it. Um, just pick it up, feel how it moves around, get you moving. It's good for like a weighted exercises. Um, I really enjoy it. I've showed it to a few people in our game, and they all say the same thing. They really enjoy it. Like I showed it to some people who were thinking about picking it up, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is pretty great." And for $20, I mean, what's stopping you? $20 shipped, so like it's $40 on Cold Steel's website, which is still a good price because, like I said, these things are super tough. And I've seen people online doing like sparring with these things, not swinging them like baseball bats, of course, but typical sparring with them, and they're really nice. They have really good fit, good quality. This one I was surprised by because this one I've seen this. This is the next one. I've seen this as high as $75 online before. Um, Cold Steel has it for $39.99, $40. So same as the Waster. This is the hand and a half training sword or bastard sword. If you want to feel like Jon Snow, running around in the north, this is what you play with. So it's the same, you know, same high quality, high impact plastic. It's about 6 inches longer than. If you look up the spec, it might call me a liar, but my estimate's 6 inches longer than the Waster. Um, but it's a hand and a half, so I can get another full hand on it if I want. But the pommel is tapered, so you can slip that hand down here if you want for practicing. So you can get two hands on it or hand and a half on it. Hence the bastard sword. Um, I don't think it's heavier than the Waster. I'd I'd have to really weigh them, but yeah, because it's a little, might be a little, it's definitely a little thinner than the Waster. So it's probably not heavier than the Waster. And you can put two hands on it. I wanted to get that because recently a friend of mine told me my great sword skills need some work. I almost forgot about this one. I think I paid. It's probably embarrassing how much I paid for this. I think it was something like $50. It wasn't cheap. Simple Targe. Well, it's not really a Targe because it has center grip handle on it. But I think this is a Bud K. No, this is Cold Steel. I'm sorry, I don't know where Bud K came from. Flashbacks to my childhood, I guess. Um, so I think they call this like the Scottish Targe or something like that, which many people have pointed out already. That's not really a Targe if it has a center grip. Targes all have straps. See if we can find it real quick. And then we're gonna move away from the page. Yeah, I'm not seeing. Oh, here it is. Here's Shields. There it is. Yeah, it's $80 on their website. I didn't pay $80 for it. I might have come close though, because I think I got all of my stuff off of Amazon. Amazon has some decent deals a lot of times, but this is pretty heavy. But you can do some like slow crossover work. Examine your shield placement in the mirror, stuff like that. I have my Pell right here, and I have a mirror that I can put it right in front of, and I can see openings in myself with a smaller shield. My shield that I usually carry is much larger than this, but I do have some shields. I have some shields. I have a shield that's smaller than this, but I have some shield blanks that I was going to make for our game that are probably about this size. I think they're 18 inches. So that's another fun little toy that I picked up, all from Cold Steel. And I have one more thing. Let's see. Like the swords. I bought their Boken. And it's $30 on Cold Steel's website. Amazon had it for $15. And it's big. Like it was like when I first took it out of the box, I thought it might be an unwieldy size to practice in the house with. Got a nice curve on it, like it should. One thing that I didn't like about this when I first touched it, I thought I was gonna hate it, is that I don't know if you'd be able to see it. Yeah, you see the grip. It's like a molded handle wrap. So it has bits jutting out. And as soon as I touched it, I was like, I'm going to hate that. And then I started playing around with it, and I kind of really like it. My thumb falls into that so easily. It's nice and rounded in the mold, so it doesn't like hurt your hand when you grab a hold of it. So they knew what they were doing. I didn't trust them when I first touched it, but it's good. It's a good grip. For $15 on Amazon, it's a steal. Again, it has a good weight. What I like about Bokens is they have that curve into your body, so you can practice like a lot of close work inside. And that's why when I first picked this up, I was like, it's a little long. You know, it'll be kind of challenging to do close work. But I mean, If it's challenging, then it's challenging, right? Always looking for the next challenge. Uh, when it gets too easy, you gotta make it a little bit harder. Um, and the close body work goes back to a philosophy that I try to tell people is learn to fight in a hallway. Um, because when you go out on the field and there's hundreds of people on the field or thousands of people on the field, you end up getting scrunched a lot. So you need to be able to give good strikes from a tight stance. And even if you're not scrunched up, it's still better to give shots from a tight stance as opposed to wide sweeping swings whenever you can avoid it, unless you're setting up, unless you're doing some kind of feint or setting up for some kind of combination. So I always tell people, drill like you're drilling in a hallway as part of your training, not all of your training, but part of it. So you want to be able to throw shots in very tight spaces. So that's why I like using Bokens to train for that. Or you can even use the little, I think, Johto, what they might call it. Don't quote me on that. We're working off my memory from something that I learned 30 years ago. So, uh, so I just wanted to share deals I found on Amazon. Video went a little long. Looks like I'm sitting at 20 minutes now. The original source for the items that I found on Amazon, what they would cost there, what you could find them for on Amazon potentially, and kind of my evolution from being 8 years old and fighting with a branch off the maple tree from my neighbor's yard to what I train for now, or what I train with now in the game that I play. So I hope you found this interesting. I hope you run out and buy all of Amazon's trainers because it would stop me from buying more, and I really shouldn't buy more. And I hope you guys all have fun and get some new cheap toys to play with. And I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for listening.